Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I would like to talk about things I've done so far, things I've learned as a service maintenance technician apprentice.
So, first thing that was really memorable that came to mind when I was making this list was I changed the tub valve cartridge. So basically, when the water was on, even though the tub valve or the handle to turn on the water in the bathtub was off, it was just leaking a bunch of water. And so we changed the cartridge in the tub valve, but it was still leaking just a little bit after a couple of tries of troubleshooting. So we changed it into a brand new tub valve, or brand new cartridge. I think the very first one was maybe defective. So we changed it out. So basically we used the hex key to remove the handle. We took out the stem, put plumber's grease on the new cartridge, stuck it in there, made sure the keeper, the little house thing that I've shown in a previous video, or the clipper is what they call it at this company, was secured in so that the cartridge falls perfectly into the hole, the pipe, and then replace everything back together. You want to test that the water from the shower head comes out, and then turn it off, and then turn the tub valve. Kind of like do it back and forth to make sure that the leak has stopped. So I did that, which was fine. Each unit for this property has its own water shut-off ball valve. This unit had it in one of the closets in the third floor or something like that, which I want to add that for my future self, if it's very difficult to maneuver the shut-off valves, like the ball valves outside of a house or wherever I'm working on, it helps to relieve the pressure when you turn on the water for all the other fixtures inside the house or inside the unit for this case.
I've also changed the ceiling light, which I want to make a note for myself again that I really need to work on my arms, because standing on a ladder and holding the ceiling light to connect all the wires and disconnect all the wires, whatever, just staying up there actually made me have to stop a couple of times and be like,
Kind of like gather myself up because my arms are so freaking weak.
So, note to self, need to work on my arms a little bit just so I can get the job done quickly. And then if the light bulbs that you've chosen for these light fixtures are not dimmers, like the switches on the wall, then you need to switch those light switches, those dimmer switches, to a regular light switch. So basically you remove the cover plate on these light fixtures or light switches, and then you detach the wires in there, and then almost like the same process, like the green wire to the green screw, or maybe it's a green wire too, and then the two black wires to the designated two black wires inside the wall, and basically you've already changed a dimmer light switch to a regular light switch. Next, I fixed a broken doorbell. The doorbell in each unit has like a little light inside, but this particular unit, the light was not on. When we pushed the button, there was no sound, so we remove the light switch, just the switch, like the button part. There's two wires and it attaches on each screw on the back side of the button. So you want to use your needle nose pliers to kind of make the ends of the wires into a little hook, so it hooks onto the screws on each side of the button, and then you tighten the screws with a screwdriver and test it before you put it back in, and that's pretty much it. I shadowed a technician in using a multimeter to check the AC at the roof. So for this particular AC box, I don't even know what to call it, you want to have the cold side read 120 to 125 psi, and then there's also the wire in the middle, which you plug to the gas pressure.
I am not going to elaborate too much on that because the technician that I shadowed didn't really go through much of what we're supposed to, like how to adjust the Freon,
how to adjust whatever to make sure the PSI was hitting at a specific range. He kind of did the process, and that was it. So hopefully I will learn more about it and how to use it and how to adjust what it's supposed to read. But right now I did get to see someone do it. That kind of scares me a little bit because I don't know much about it, but we did do that. Next thing on the list is replace an oven light, which seems simple enough, but I've never done it before myself. So basically there's like a thick glass cover in the oven, and you just screw off that and change the light bulb in there. And then we replaced the light under the microwave. There's also a tiny light bulb under the microwave. It's not inside the microwave, but it's underneath. And sometimes you have to take off the little screens underneath, otherwise it's just like exposed right there, and it just takes a really tiny light bulb. So we did that, and then resetting an ice maker in a freezer. I've showed in the previous or a different video where you just take the same wire, and using the ends of the same one, you stick it into these two little holes that are next to this dial. And then by doing so, you kind of hear a tiny spark, and then the little dial that moves very, very slowly inside the ice maker should start moving. Never touch that manually, but just sticking the ends of the wire actually will reset it. So we did that, and then next I watched a different technician replace the bellow of a washer, right? Yeah, like a laundry washer. And that, oh my gosh, looked really complicated. There's two rings basically that is connecting the rubber part of your washer so that water doesn't escape it. So you want to unscrew one of the rings that comes with the screw, and then you want to snap on one of the screws, or not screws, one of the wires that are just like snapped onto the other end of the bellow, the rubber part of the bellow, that, you know, make sure the water is tightly sealed inside. So that honestly looked really complicated, so I would like to elaborate on that when I get to try it myself. Hopefully I will have an opportunity to do so this coming week, but yes, we have done that. I have watched someone do that, which I would have never expected it to be so difficult.